Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Boss Mod. Today we're talking about the INTJ, and before we get into it, as always, just gonna break down the four-member RPG model that I use. So if you have an MBTI code like INTJ, like we're talking about today, it's actually more than just the four letters, and that's what this model is here for. It's to break it down in a way that's a little easier to understand because it's a complex subject. So you lead with your dominant function, and this is your hero. This is your style, okay? And it's how you prefer to live in the world. I mean, it's your compulsion. It's what you probably describe yourself as. If somebody's like, who are you? You probably describe mainly your dominant function here. And it's where you prefer to be. Okay? And for you, it's inside your head, looking at abstract ideas and trying to find patterns based on those, which eventually leads you into getting a deep understanding of why things are happening. So that's introverted intuition, and you support that with extroverted thinking. This I call your companion. So it kind of helps you make decisions, right? Extroverted thinking is a decision-making function. It's one of your mental processes, right? And extroverted thinking is all about making the step-by-step, like logical, technical plan to achieve a goal. It looks at like empirical evidence and charts and graphs and stuff to get everybody on your side if you need to, or just make sure that this is the actual path that you should take because all of this data supports it. So you generally try to stay within your hero and your companion. But there are, a lot more functions and members within this party. We only talk about the first four within Boss Mod, but maybe someday we'll get into it. So you have your hero, your companion. Those are the highest level characters. They support each other. They get you through most of your quests when everything's healthy and working out well. You also have a newbie. Your newbie is called your tertiary function. And this is where you go to kind of defend your desire to stay within your head and ignore that stuff out there, right? In the extroverted realm. And that is introverted feeling for you. Introverted feeling is basically checking how decisions are aligned with you internally within your feelings and your subjective understanding of, is this the right thing to do? The problem is it's not as high leveled as the other characters that we just talked about, the hero and the companion. It's a newbie, right? So it's like a level 10 rolling with a level 30 hero and a level 30 companion. So like it has the right ideas generally, it has good intentions, but don't trust it too much to make decisions because it's all based on introverted, your past, okay? I'll get into it in a second. I don't want to dig too far into it right now. So that's introverted feeling. It's good and bad. And then after that, you have your inferior function. This I call the escort. The escort it gives you a problem for the first 30, 40 years of your life, and then you start to figure it out a bit more. For you, it's extroverted sensing. Extroverted sensing is about the real tangible world around you and just living in the moment, in the present moment, right? Embracing everything that's going on around you and not worrying about those abstract details. Well, I guess they're not details, abstract like theories and that understanding of what will happen far into the future. It's like now, let's go. So going back, your hero, your first function, your dominant function, is introverted intuition, and I consider that to be like an elf hunter, a sentinel, right? So it's slow, methodical, kind of. It's like just trying to take that step back and observe everything that's happening, and then, you know, when you get that perfect shot, you take it, and you know exactly what's going to happen into the future through your visions and whatnot. Sorry, my head is killing me right now. Basically, I mean, I said before, it's abstract understanding, and it's based on everything you've experienced in the past. And you carry that far into the future. And actually, one of the cool things about introverted intuition is your brain is actually wired to like just chill out and use the whole brain to search for different patterns and understandings and stuff, and then use that to find like the true answer or solution to the problem, whatever it is. It's like this Zen-like flow state. I guess it kind of creeps some people out because they're like, how'd you know that? You know, I don't see how you put that information together. But, you know, as you know, probably if you're an INTJ, that, you know what's going to happen. Maybe other people don't believe you at the start, but, you know, eventually when it happens or when it's about to happen and everyone's freaking out, you're like, yeah, I told you, this is what was going to happen. You should listen to me. So some of the skills I have that I made for the Sentinel are, let's see, camouflage. So calmly slip into your surroundings, and in this calm, relaxed state, you observe the world and search for patterns to get that deep understanding. And when you're camouflaged, you can summon your spirit animal, which is like summon a mystical animal to fight with you. Your ideas and predictions become reality. Pretty cool. Let's see. Multi-shot, hit 2 targets, accept several ideas as being possible so you can check validity through patterns. So one thing you do is, you switch perspectives back and forth to try to understand how things are happening from all these other perspectives and other people's, minds, basically. So in that time, you're thinking like, from this person, you're like, okay, this could be what's going to happen. And then you think from another perspective, and then you figure out which one is true, and you follow that further and further down the chain of understanding. Inner sight, reveal alignment of nearby targets, gain understanding or insight into a situation or a person's actions. Critical shot, arrows can now critically hit, embrace a realistic and often seen as critical viewpoint. This is kind of what I was talking about before, like people might think that you're, I guess, maybe a little pessimistic, but you're just being real and you just say what you see is going to happen, and nobody else can quite understand it right then. Let's see, call of augury. This is another thing that I kind of mentioned. Warn others of danger, increasing perception. Notice and express a warning or critique that you have envisioned. So you see this thing happening, you envision it, you get all these ideas, you tell other people, and hopefully they listen. Barrage, rain down arrows from above, create top-down hierarchies to explain an idea by envisioning the goals first and then seeing the methods to reach them. Especially, I think, as an INTJ, that fits really well. Yeah, I think that's about good. One more. Freedom of movement. Prevent movement hindering damage, so move easily between the realms of your conscious and unconscious. So this is like you're in the world in reality, and then you kind of just step back and you can see, yourself and see everybody, and just get that proper view of everything, and without being stuck in the moment. Okay, so that's 11 minutes of me talking about the hero, basically. And the thing is, you need a companion. You need your auxiliary function, because if you're always stuck within your head, you're never going to go anywhere, right? You need to experience the outer world too. And for you do that through extroverted thinking, which is that step-by-step kind of methodical approach to reaching a goal and organizing the world around you, I guess. I consider extroverted thinking to be like a geomancer, this dwarf mage. So it's moving things around in the environment, sometimes people, whatever you got to move around to get to where you want to go. And so you put introverted intuition, your sentinel style, with this geomancer of extroverted thinking. And you got somebody who is like very good at making a plan that has like long range, right? That goes out into the future, and it's just very solid, right? Very effective. And it's not always easy for you to listen to your geomancer buddy, your companion there, because it's like he speaks another language sometimes, right? Because he's a dwarf and you're an elf, right? So sometimes you're just like, I don't want to leave what's in here and what I know is true. And I don't want to like just experience all that stuff out there when I see it happening from here, right? So this geomancer is always telling you just take action, just do this, do something, right? You can test it after you take the first step, but it's not easy to step out of that introverted mindset. Trust me, I know. Yeah, I think that's about good for those two. So very technical, real understanding of how you can, take action, but still you're informing those steps and that action through abstract pattern recognition, and like I said before, using your whole brain to realize where you should go and solve problems and things like that. If you listen to like INTJs talk, if you're not an INTJ, it's really interesting. Easy to follow, I think. It feels good for me anyway. Like I'm just like, I know exactly what you're talking about. You explain it using, metaphors, and you have this clear structure for it. And I think you basically take that through, if you're an INTJ, you take that through your life into whatever, work or school or whatever you're doing. Yeah. Okay. But into the other stuff, your newbie comes in there as introverted feeling, this priest, kind of an elf healer. And what introverted feeling is based on your subjective understanding of like, how did I feel in that situation, right? And it's a slow decision-making process, as opposed to extroverted thinking, which is quick and just wants to take that action. And the problem with the newbie is that you use it to defend yourself, right? To keep you within your slower, introverted intuition mind, right? And not take action and just watch and keep observing to try to find the perfect approach to whatever it is. So it doesn't really get you too far. It doesn't get you anywhere, but you get constant shields, right? you get a shield and you take your shot eventually, boom, okay, and then you take a step back again and you get another shield, and it's slow. It's not about taking action. But when you get really stressed out and you don't really understand what's going on around you and people are driving you crazy or whatever, and you can't quite get to where you want to go, maybe like you're trying to take action and it's not working, then take that step back, listen to your newbie, another elf, right? Listen to him and just make sure that your approach is actually humane, right? Like you're taking a moral approach to things. Because without that introverted feeling, you don't care about people as much. Sure, of course, everybody cares about people. Everybody uses all of these functions in ways, but you don't realize maybe how you affect people, right? So yeah, when you get really stressed out, go back to that elf healer, to your priest. Check in with yourself. Are you making the right choice here? Are you treating people as you would like to be treated? Does this achievement that you're going after actually matter to you? And does it help you out in the long term and everybody else involved? And yeah. But if you listen to it too much, you're never going to take action. Okay, so that's the newbie. That's how the newbie is in there. And your escort, your inferior function or aspirational function, as it's also called, is like this buggy kind of AI. You can't control it. And it represents the mirror opposite of your hero's style. So introverted intuition, right, is abstract. You're cutting away different possibilities through swapping perspectives and trying to get this long range vision, right? Extroverted sensing is more like a dwarf warrior, like this berserker. He's got 2 hammers and he just goes. He just runs in there and starts pounding things with the mauls, those hammers. And that drives you crazy sometimes because, you're like, you gotta think about it first. But he just wants to go in. And this happens a lot when you just can't be in your introverted intuition, your sentinel mindset. Like whatever it is, something happens and that's forcing you to be in the present world. Then you're just like, okay, fine. I'll do whatever it takes to get as many things touched and smelled and tasted and just embrace, be in that moment, right? Extroverted sensing is taking in all the sensory aspects, the tangible world of the extroverted side, right? Outside of yourself. So, yeah, it can be rough sometimes. And that's when you're like, I'm sorry, it wasn't me, or, you drank too much, or whatever the stereotypes want to say. But eventually, when you're like, okay, I actually do need to help this escort on his quest right now, when you complete the quest of like understanding the escort and really like knowing that it's an important part of you, of who you are, and it's a great way to like gather more information and learn about the world, then that's when you feel complete, right? That's when you feel good about yourself. You've leveled up, you know, you're ready to take on some more dragons and stuff, and you're just like, you can use your full party. All of your mental wiring functions to do what you got to do, right? You know, looking at the world, seeing where you are in the present moment, then taking that step back and being like, okay, where is this going? You know, where should it go? You decide where should it go basically through your judging functions, the extroverted thinking and introverted feeling, because those make decisions, right? So you're gathering information through your escort and your healer or your hero, and then you take action through your healer, your introverted feeling, and then really quick progressive action through extroverted thinking. It was kind of long. I apologize for that. I hope I covered everything. I'm trying to slow down a bit. I guess take a hint from you guys, from the introverted intuition users. I just try to piece things together. Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, something I said sounded really good, something I said didn't sound quite right, please let me know in the comments below. I'll link the page for INTJs, and there's a lot more information in there, so please check that out before you I don't know, comment if you have any questions. Okay, well, good luck, have fun. See ya.